Welcome to July the 17th. I'll start from 2017 and work back to 2014 and take it from there. In 180, 12 inhabitants of Scillium in North Africa were executed for being Christians. This is the earliest record of Christianity in that part of the world. In 1203, the Fourth Crusade captured Constantinople by assault. The Byzantine Emperor, Alexios III Angelos, fled from his capital into exile. The Byzantine Empire was crumbling as siblings quarrelled over the throne. One enlisted the aid of the crusaders to overthrow another. They were kind of successful against their Christian brothers when they would fail against Islam. One thing worth noting was that in deposing one emperor, the previous wasn't killed but blinded, considered a penalty that was more merciful than killing. In 1402, Zhu Di, better known by his era name as the Yongle Emperor, assumed the throne over the Ming dynasty of China. In 1429, the Hundred Years' War, Charles VII of France was crowned the King of France in Reims Cathedral after a successful campaign by Joan of Arc. In 1453, the Battle of Castillon, the last battle of the Hundred Years' War, the French under Jean Bureau defeated the English under the Earl of Shrewsbury, who was killed in the battle in Gascony. In 1717, King George I of Great Britain sailed down the River Thames with a barge of 50 musicians, where George Friedrich Handel's Water Music was premiered. In 1762, Catherine II became Tsar of Russia upon the murder of Peter III of Russia. In 1771, the Bloody Falls Massacre, Chippewayan chief Matanabe traveled as the guide to Samuel Hearne on his Arctic overland journey, massacred a group of unsuspecting Inuit. In 1791, members of the French National Guard under the command of General Lafayette opened fire on a crowd of radical Jacobins at the Champ de Mars, Paris, during the French Revolution, killing as many as 50 people. 1794, the 16 Carmelite martyrs of Compiègne were executed 10 days prior to the end of the French Revolution's reign of terror. 1856, the Great Train Wreck of 1856 in Fort Washington, Pennsylvania, killed over 60 people. 1867, Harvard School of Dental Medicine was established in Boston, Massachusetts. It was the first dental school in the U.S. to be affiliated with a university. 1896, Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharishi, the Indian sage, at 16, spontaneously initiated a process of self-inquiry that culminated within a few minutes in his own permanent awakening. 1899, NEC Corporation was organized as the first Japanese joint venture with foreign capital. In 1917, King George V issued a proclamation stating that the male-line descendants of the British royal family would bear the surname Windsor. In 1918, Tsar Nicholas II of Russia and his immediate family and retainers were murdered by Bolshevik Chekists at the Ipatiev House in Yekaterinburg, Russia. Also, 1918, the RMS Carpathia, the ship that rescued the 705 survivors from the RMS Titanic, was sunk off Ireland by the German SMU-55. 5 lives were lost. 1932, Altona Bloody Sunday, a riot between the Nazi Party paramilitary force, the SS and SA, and the German Communist Party ensued. 1933, after successfully crossing the Atlantic Ocean, the Lithuanian research aircraft Lituanica crashed in Europe under mysterious circumstances. In 1936, Spanish Civil War, an armed forces rebellion against the recently elected leftist Popular Front government of Spain, started the Civil War. In 1938, Douglas Corrigan took off from Brooklyn to fly the wrong way to Ireland and became known as Wrong Way Corrigan. In 1944, Port Chicago disaster near San Francisco Bay, 2 ships laden with ammunition for the war exploded in Port Chicago, California, killing 320. Also in 1944, World War II, napalm incendiary bombs were dropped for the first time by American P-38 pilots on a fuel depot at Coutances near Saint-Lô, France. 1945, World War II, the main three leaders of the Allied nations, Winston Churchill, Harry S. Truman, and Joseph Stalin, met in the German city of Potsdam to decide the future of defeated Germany. 1968, a revolution occurred in Iraq when Abdul Rahman Arif was overthrown and the Ba'ath Party was installed as the governing power in Iraq, with Ahmed Hassani al-Bakr as the new Iraqi president. In 1976, East Timor was annexed and became the 27th province of Indonesia. Also in 1976, the opening of the Summer Olympics in Montreal was marred by 25 African teams boycotting the New Zealand team. In 2014, Malaysian Airlines Flight 17, a Boeing 777, crashed near the border of Ukraine and Russia after being shot down. All 298 people on board were killed.